Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a pregnancy Q&A. Over on my Instagram a couple days ago, I left a little question box for you guys to ask me questions of anything that you have that's pregnancy related. I feel like I'm constantly getting questions on my YouTube channel and my Instagram. I thought that it was a good time to film a pregnancy Q&A for you guys. So I have some questions here that I've screenshotted on my phone. And just for a little bit of context here, I am currently 32 weeks and 2 days. 32 weeks and 2 days pregnant, and I am pregnant with a baby boy. My due date is September 6th, so I'm getting really close to the end. I'll probably end up doing like another Q&A when I am completely done with my pregnancy or up as far, I don't know, like 39 weeks if you guys have any questions. Like specifically at that time. And then I think I'm going to do like a postpartum Q&A, just talking about everything and birth and just all of that. So today we are going to just do the pregnancy Q&A though, and I do have a lot of questions here, so let's get started. So the first question is biggest craving. Surprisingly, I really have not had many cravings at all. Honestly, what I want all day is water. Ice water, specifically I like just water with a ton of ice, and I like to crunch on the ice. I've always loved lemon water. I've always been a huge fan of water. I always take a water bottle with me everywhere, but for some reason this time around I am constantly just drinking water, and it's just so refreshing to me. For food cravings and that, there isn't anything really specific. In the beginning, I was craving a lot of sour things like sour candy, and that is completely unlike me. I don't really eat a lot of candy, but now I definitely feel like I want ice cream or like a good milkshake. It's been hot the past few weeks, so I'm always down for a milkshake. But basically my biggest craving, coffee. I don't know why. During my first trimester, I didn't want coffee. I had like an aversion to coffee, and now I just think about coffee all day long. It's so weird. So pretty much just drinks, water, and coffee. The next question that I have is product to help prevent stretch marks. So I'm pretty sure that I've talked about stretch marks before in another video, but stretch marks are hereditary, and you're gonna get them. Like, if you're gonna get them, you're gonna get them. There's like not much you can do, but I always want to take care of my skin and nourish it and try to just prevent it as much as I can. So I love using all of the Palmer's products. I actually partnered with them about a month ago, and I literally use their products every single night when I get out of the shower. And what I like to use specifically is that they have an oil. I'll leave a link down below to all these products. I should have grabbed them, but they have an oil specifically, and I love putting that oil, like lathering my boobs and my belly and my hips in it, and then I'll let that sit for a little bit, and I'll like get into bed, and then when I get up to pee, I'll put on, they have a belly balm, and then they have like a lotion concentrate, and then I'll put that on top of the oil. And I really just feel like it nourishes my skin. It honestly just feels good because I really like to rub it in, and I don't know, I've been really liking the Palmer stuff. When we have our next baby, I'll probably just end up purchasing those products myself again. All of those are my favorite, and I'll leave a link to all those products down below. Someone asked, what are you most nervous about? And they didn't really specify, so I'm guessing birth. I feel like this time around I am most nervous about going into labor, because with River I had to be induced because I had toxemia and preeclampsia. So I literally had a jug, like a gallon thing of pee that I was carrying around for 24 hours, and I had to go to the hospital to drop it off. And while I was at the hospital getting some tests done, I started to have contractions, and basically they said that with where I was at and the contractions that I was having, that they would just keep me. And then they ended up giving me Pitocin and that. So I didn't go into that day thinking that I was going to give birth, but when I was at the hospital and just, you know, hearing everything that they were saying and that, like, I knew that I was going to get induced. So this time around, things are a lot different. I haven't developed any toxemia or preeclampsia yet, and I think I developed it around this time when I was pregnant with River, so I'm hoping that everything stays good with that. But I really just want to have as natural of an experience as possible. I'm not saying that I'm not going to get an epidural, because I'm sure that I will, but I want to go into labor naturally. I want to just like experience as much of the experience as I can, and my hope is like my water breaks at home, or I start having contractions and I try to labor at home as long as I can and then go to the hospital. We live extremely close to our hospital, so that is my plan. I really don't want to get induced, but obviously it's whatever keeps him the most safe and me the most safe. But I'm just hoping to have, you know, just a natural experience. So I'm most nervous about like my water breaking. I've never had that happen. They broke my water in the hospital after I had my epidural, so I don't even know what it feels like. And I just think too, knowing that I'm alone with River during the day and Caleb works a 9 to 5, like what happens if he's at work and my water broke? Like, I know that you just don't, like, your water breaks and you just don't pop out a baby, but it just makes me nervous because I've never been through it before. Okay, someone else asked, how many months did it take you to get pregnant? With River, Caleb and I tried for about a year, and after about, it was really a long time. After about a year of us trying to get pregnant with River, we were kind of like, it's not the right time. We were making career changes and just a lot was happening in our life at that time. We decided that we were gonna wait like another year to start trying again, and then we ended up pregnant with River. So it definitely took us a long time. I felt really defeated with River, but then honestly, I know that they say like once you stop thinking about it is when it happens, and that's exactly what happened with us. We were not trying when we got pregnant with River, and getting pregnant with him was a complete shock. I actually had a UTI, and Caleb and I went to urgent care because I needed to get medicine for it, and we found out at the urgent care that I was pregnant. So a total shock, total surprise for us. And then I don't exactly remember how long we tried with our second pregnancy, with our miscarriage, but it was definitely, I don't even remember. I think that we like started trying, but like we weren't trying. It was kind of just like whenever it happens, it happens. And so that pregnancy was a huge surprise to us too. Then this time with our third pregnancy, we tried, I think it was like about 6 months, and I was on top of it, like ovulation, like checking my ovulation, putting my periods down in my app, tracking every time that we were intimate. Like I was tracking every single thing. So every month when I would take my pregnancy test and it would be negative, that I would be really upset. So it was a constant, every month was a constant cycle. I was constantly heartbroken and let down. We ended up pregnant with our baby boy now, and I know that it is so hard if you are trying to conceive and just like waiting for that time. And honestly, I know that it is so annoying because I used to get so just aggravated when we had our miscarriage and people would say that, you know, like everything happens for a reason and God has a plan for you. But now looking back at everything that we've been through and our losses and just where we're at now, I truly like could not agree with that more. Like everything happens for a reason, and whenever you do become pregnant or adopt or whatever it is that you are wanting to do, you're gonna look back and just say like, wow, that happened at the most perfect time. I have the most perfect children, and it'll all just feel like it fell into place exactly when it was supposed to. So it definitely took me a while, but I would definitely get like some apps and like ovulation kits and just try to do stuff at home, watch some YouTube videos about it, and just like try to track your cycle as much as possible. Next question is advice for pregnancy after miscarriage. What do you wish someone told you? So this is honestly a really great question, and my advice for pregnancy after a miscarriage, that is honestly such a hard one because I really struggled. I would say that my advice is just to not worry, but there's no way that you can't worry every single day after having a miscarriage. The first trimester was really, really hard for me because we lost our baby at, how far was I? I was really, really close to 12 weeks. Like I was almost out of my first trimester. So every single day I was constantly worried. Any cramp that I felt freaked me out. If I was feeling off in any way, it was just really hard for me to not automatically like go to that place. The biggest thing that I wish that someone would have told me is that it's completely normal to feel overwhelmed and scared, and it's all new emotions that you're going through. I've never experienced a miscarriage. I never thought that I would ever experience a miscarriage. So when it happened to us, I felt like my whole entire world was over. Like it really was hard for us to overcome. Caleb and I went through a really hard time. I blamed myself for a long time. And when we were pregnant again, it was just like I cherish every single moment. I took so many more photos, and I felt like I just cherished every single day so much more. So I really don't have much advice for you because I feel like I'm still trying to navigate it, even though we lost our baby during our first trimester, and I'm 32 weeks pregnant now. I feel like my mind, and I've learned just so much more about how grateful I am to be in this position and to have a healthy baby that's still growing inside of me at 32 weeks, and to have a 2-year-old that is thriving and healthy. And I was naive when I was pregnant with River, and I truly just know like how blessed and lucky that we are. And I think that God really tested me in that way, and I really needed to go through something like that because I just always kind of had this mentality like, that would never happen to me. Nothing could happen to us. Caleb and I are in love, and we've been together for so long, and it seemed like we had our ducks in a row and just things were going great for our relationship. Like nothing could ever happen to us, and then it did. So I don't know if I'm even making sense, but it's definitely hard to navigate through, and I would just find a community of people that love and support you and that you can lean on during your pregnancy. The next question is, do you have a name picked out? And I think we do. We were going back and forth between 2 names for a while, and I told you guys that in my baby names I love but won't be using. I'll put a card up here for that. If you guys didn't watch that, you can go ahead and head on over there. I didn't mention the names that we have picked out just because I just want to keep that to ourselves. We only have a couple more weeks, but I think that we are going with the name that Caleb likes more. I don't know, it makes me so happy that he loves the name so much, and I think that the name is so cute, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. So make sure that you're following me on Instagram because we'll give you guys updates, and we'll post what his name is on Instagram. So make sure you're following us over there. What has been the hardest part of pregnancy for you? Obviously with what I was just saying, like having a miscarriage previously has been really hard, just like navigating this pregnancy. But I would say just like physically, my back pain. I have had a lot of back pain, lower back pain, tailbone pain. I feel like early on, like in the middle of my second trimester, it almost felt like, I'm sure that it is happening, like my hips and that were separating. And now I feel like I'm so far along. I definitely have that like pregnancy waddle going on where I'm like arching my back and my belly is sticking out. And I just feel like no matter how I lay down at night, if I'm sitting or if I'm standing for too long, like no matter what I do, just like the lower part above my butt just hurts so bad. And that would probably be like the hardest part of pregnancy for me right now, because I've also been trying to walk at least a mile a day, and with all of that, it just feels like a lot of tension. So with all that tension, it's hard for me to walk too. So I've just been trying to take it slow and really trying to relax, but the tailbone pain is no joke. Are you still getting sick? No, I am not getting sick. I haven't gotten sick in a couple of weeks, but pregnancy like throws me off. When I am pregnant, I am sick for like 14 weeks, no matter what, throwing up all day. It doesn't matter what I take, what foods I eat. how much sleep I get at night. No matter what, I am sick as a dog. So I pretty much got sick consistently every single day, throwing up all day until I was about 14 weeks pregnant. And then when I was in my second trimester, I would have, I would go a week without getting sick, and then I would have something that would make my stomach upset, whether it was a meal or the heat or just something, and it would make me throw up. And then I would be sick for 2 or 3 days. So I constantly throw up when I am pregnant. I actually felt nauseous last night and this morning, but I didn't get sick. So I tell you what, that's another part that's hardest for me for pregnancy, is just throwing up, because I can't keep anything down. And if you have ever been pregnant before, or if you're going through it right now, being nauseous while you're pregnant is completely terrible. I don't wish it on anybody. It is so hard on your bodies. Okay, the next question is, what is your favorite part of pregnancy? And you guys know I've mentioned this a lot of times, but I love being pregnant. I love having a belly. Before I was ever pregnant, I was just skin and bones. I always struggled to gain weight. I was never confident in myself. I've always had really long skinny legs, and I just felt awkward. I felt like I hadn't grown into my body yet, and I had a bigger chest, and I don't know, I just felt like I didn't feel like a woman almost. I felt like an awkward teenager still that was still trying to find myself and get comfortable with my body. So now that I am pregnant, I just feel so good. I love it when I have a little bit of weight on me, and I just love being pregnant. I love having a belly. I just love it. I could have 10 kids if Caleb would let me, but obviously that's not going to happen. But I honestly just feel so beautiful when I'm pregnant. I feel so good, and it is just such a miracle to me that I'm able to carry a child, and that this whole thing, you create a child and you carry them and you give birth to them. The whole entire experience is just mind-blowing to me, and I find every part of it beautiful. So I love having a belly, and I'm definitely gonna miss it, but I'm also to the point where I'm excited to not be pregnant anymore. And I worked out a lot before I got pregnant this time around, so I'm excited to just get back to myself and get in shape and get some sleep, sleep on my stomach. I can't wait for that. I am a stomach sleeper, so that's also why I struggle so much at night. The last question that I have here is, are you nervous for postpartum and recovery? And yes, I am. I don't know how much, if there's a video or how much in depth I went with River postpartum, but I am planning on sharing everything with you guys, especially over on my Instagram stories. I'll be doing stuff more in real time. So like I've said before, make sure that you're following me over there. But I am so incredibly nervous for recovery, because with River, I tore really bad. I had 2nd-degree tearing. No one told me. My doctor didn't inform me. No one informed me about what happens after I give birth. And I felt like I was almost in shock from having a child, just trying to figure out how to take care of this baby. And then when we were in the hospital, I was just in so much pain down there. And then my milk came in the second day that we were in the hospital. So I had no idea that your boobs become engorged and they hurt. I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience from how much pain that I was in. And then when we came home, I felt like I was struggling so much because, you have this newborn that I have no idea how to take care of. I have no idea what I'm doing. And then on top of that, I'm in so much pain. I don't know how to take care of myself. I don't know what to do to make myself comfortable. I just felt like, I don't know, it was a really hard time for me. And it took me about, I would say a good 3 weeks for me to be able to go to the bathroom and to be able to walk on my own. It was really hard on me. So I'm nervous about the recovery for this baby, but I've heard like after you've had a baby, like your second, your third is easier so for recovery. So I'm hoping that that is the case, but I am going to be a complete open book. I'm going to share with you guys what it is really like having a baby, what your body looks like, what I am going through, my tips and tricks and everything like that. And I just wish that I knew more going into it. So that's why I want to share as much as I can with you guys. But yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, but I know that every birth experience is different. Every recovery is different. So I'm just praying that I have a little bit of an easier time. And this time, obviously, I know like how to take care of myself and what I need to do that. And I'm just purchasing a lot of Dermaplast and ice packs for my cooch. And I decided this time too, I got adult diapers. I'm not even worrying about the pads. I'm not wearing pads in my underwear. I'm wearing diapers at home. I don't even care. So I'll share everything with you guys. I'll plan on doing like a postpartum like haul where I share with you guys like my clothing and just everything that I ended up using. So make sure that you are subscribed, because obviously I have a lot of content coming for you guys, but that is all that I have for today. That is all the pregnancy questions. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and it gave you some insight. As always, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. We are so close to 6,000 subscribers, and I think that it would be so fun to have that or hit that right before the baby comes. And I just feel so grateful that you guys have been following along this journey and that you are a part of the family. So don't forget to subscribe. Go ahead and follow me on Instagram if you're not already. And I hope that you guys are staying safe and healthy. And I will see you back here in a couple days in a brand new video. Bye.